For the longest time when we talked about AI, we were really talking to engineers. Well, that era is officially over. Today, we're jumping into Christian Milchanowski's work to see exactly why AI has stopped being a technology problem and started being the ultimate leadership challenge.
This statement right here, it's everything. It's not some far-off prediction. It's a declaration of where we are right now. The entire conversation has shifted. It's not about if AI matters anymore. It's about how leaders are going to handle its impact. The challenge isn't about the code. It's about strategy. It's about people, and it's about making some really critical decisions.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to nail down what this new leadership problem actually is. Then, we'll get into something called the great work divide that AI is creating. After that, we'll introduce you to the orchestrator, explore why trust is suddenly beating performance, and finally, we'll talk about the single biggest risk that leaders are facing.
All right, first up, a new leadership problem. Let's be clear, the time for debating whether AI is relevant, that's over. The need to act is here, and man, it is hitting leaders with some serious speed and force.
What's just wild here is the speed. Think about it. In 2024, AI was mostly a curiosity. By 2025, it had become a proven capability. And now, we're looking at 2026, and it is a full-blown leadership imperative. This isn't some slow-moving trend, this is a rocket launch.
And that insane acceleration leads right to this, FOMO. But we're not talking about missing out on a new app. We're talking about the very real risk of your organization becoming irrelevant. The pressure is on, big time, for leaders to rethink absolutely everything, roles, processes, strategies, because standing still just isn't an option anymore.
So how does this all actually affect the people doing the work? Well, that brings us to our second section, the great work divide. We're going to look at how AI is completely reshaping the value of knowledge itself.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. On one side, the value of just knowing things, facts and data that a machine can pull up in a second, that's dropping fast. So where's the value going? It's shifting to the stuff that's uniquely human, the ability to frame the right questions, to critically judge the answers an AI gives you, and then, most importantly, to decide what to do next.
And that's the real kicker. As AI basically makes raw intelligence a cheap commodity, the thing that sets you apart is action. Your ability to execute, to push work forward, and to make smart decisions based on all those AI insights, that's where the real value is now.
Which brings us right to the core idea of this whole explainer, the orchestrator's mandate. If the old ways of leading are on the ropes, what's the new model that's stepping into the ring? I want you to meet the orchestrator. This is the new blueprint for a leader in the age of AI. They're not the one writing the code. They're not the data scientist. No, they are the architect of this new way of working. They're the one who maps out how decisions get made, what the AI is allowed to do, and, this is huge, who is ultimately responsible for the outcome.
So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it starts with designing how decisions flow through the team. Then they have to define the exact job that AI has within that flow. Next comes the really tricky part, managing that handoff between what a person wants to do and what the AI actually does. And finally, they have to assign a human to be accountable for whatever happens. This isn't just managing, it's a total redesign of how work gets done. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the human side of all this, because it's not just about process and flowcharts. Our fourth section is trust over performance, and it's a super important kind of counterintuitive idea for this new era.
Okay, check out this chart. It's fascinating. System A on the left might be technically better, higher performance. But which one do people actually choose? System B. Why? Simple. They trust it more. As we start to rely on AI for everything, we are going to consistently pick the systems that we feel we can depend on, the ones that are transparent. Even if another option is technically more powerful, trust is the new currency.
And this leads to a pretty profound psychological question, doesn't it? For anyone whose identity and career is built on their expertise, this question is a little scary. If a machine can do my job, what am I worth? Great leaders, the orchestrators, they have to tackle this anxiety head-on and help their people find new ways to add value.
And that leads us to our final and maybe most critical section. After all this chaos and change, what's the single biggest danger? It's probably not what you're thinking. The real risk here is inertia.
Because at the end of the day, winning in the AI era isn't about who has the biggest budget. It's not about who can spend the most. It's about who actually uses it the best. A lasting advantage is going to come from execution, from safely and consistently using AI to get real, tangible things done.
And this is the bottom line, the crucial takeaway. The technology itself isn't the real threat here. The greatest risk, by far, is doing nothing. It's the failure to move when everything around you is changing at light speed. So what does that inertia look like in the real world? It's waiting too long to get started. It's putting off the tough decisions. It's hedging your bets, making a bunch of small, safe commitments instead of going all in. And it's just plain underestimating how fast all of this is moving. See, these aren't technology failures. They're leadership failures.
So, we're going to end with a question for you. As AI continues to reshape our world, the choice isn't if you'll engage with it, it's how. The need for leaders who can design, guide, and take responsibility, it's here now. So the only question left is, are you going to be an orchestrator